Hola, amiga, and welcome to the Latina Leadership Podcast, a podcast by Latinas for all women. Get ready because today's conversation is really special.
Hola, and welcome to another episode of the Latina Leadership Podcast. I am your host, Angelica Casares, and I am on my series of On the Road in the Texas area. Okay, so I am in my quote-unquote hometown of Laredo, Nuevo Laredo.
Sister city.
So, yes, the sister city. Okay, so here with me, I ask everybody this question at the very beginning of every conversation. Who are you and what do you do?
Simple. So my name is Kirby. I'm the owner of Madison Avenue Marketing Agency here in Laredo, Texas. I believe one of the first female-owned marketing agencies here in town locally. So we're very proud of that. I'm also a mom to my son, who's going to be 18 years old on Tuesday, so soon to be empty nester. Yes, and I was able to connect with you through the Chamber of Commerce. So I'm lucky enough to be the chair of the Women in Business Committee here at the Chamber, which is a new initiative this year. Of all the committees they've had all these years, there's never been one that's specific to women business leaders. So this is a really cool space that we're creating for female professionals in our community. And so far, it's off to a great start, and we're just really excited about it. So I love your vibe and the Latina leadership and all of that. It just fits so well. So we were so excited when you reached out.
When you're here, you're in marketing.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Allegedly,
right? Because I own an agency myself too, and it's a marketing agency.
It's not
yes,
easy.
no, it's not. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Okay, so what kind of clients do you have?
So we serve all types of verticals. So Madison Avenue started in 2019. We're going to be 7 years old in October. How old are you guys?
Oh my God, we're 10.
Okay.
We're 10.
Okay.
We're 10.
So I don't know if you feel this way, but and no offense to Barack Obama, because I think he's very handsome. But you know how presidents, when they come in, you see this super hot picture of him. Yeah. I shouldn't say that about a president. A very handsome, professional image.
Yes.
Very well. And then they serve 2 terms, and then their outgoing presidential portrait looks a little more run down. Right? Yeah. Okay, I'm there. I'm like at the 2 terms right now with the canas and the wrinkles, and it's like, man, this is not how I looked when I started my business. You know, if you want to age very rapidly, if you want to accelerate that, open a business, be a small business owner.
If you want to gain wisdom,
agency,
if you want to gain wisdom, not canas, wisdom. They're wisdom.
Sure.
They're wisdom here.
No, I wear them proudly. You know, I'm leaning into it. It's a badge of honor for sure. But it's like you see, it's not for the faint of heart, right?
It's not.
You know,
it's
to
not.
Start a business, to start a marketing agency.
And I asked you what kind of clients you have. It's because it's the kind of clients that you actually gain that give you. One, they give you the most experience, but I'm so grateful for them because I have learned and I have grown so fast, so quick.
Yep.
Just in methodology and the way they work and the way it is. Because honestly, there's no BS. It is what it is. The work needs to get done. You need to do the work. Life is life and, whatever. It goes on.
Yeah.
It goes on.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can be so slow. And then all of a sudden it's like fast paced. And I'm like, okay. And then you just have to be ready for that incoming thing.
Yeah.
So,
but there's no emergencies in marketing.
No.
Okay. No. We're not doing open heart surgery.
No.
We're not going to leave a sponge inside of anyone. Like, no one's going to die. We should enjoy it. We should have fun.
Correct.
But yes, sometimes you lose sight of that because of all the work stuff.
Yeah.
I get you.
Because sometimes they have a campaign, they have deadlines, and they have to do like all the working stuff, right? They're all the moving pieces. But with the experience comes the knowledge.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
So my question to you is, aspiring marketers, Latina marketers, what kind of knowledge would you give them?
Oh, I don't feel qualified to do this anymore, Bye. No, I'm just kidding.
You're so cute.
That's a lot of pressure. That's what the whole Latina community is riding on.
Yes.
Well, there's a couple of things. One of them, at my age stage in life, part of my journey where I'm in, I'm like, I should be having a lot more fun. Like I just said now, marketing is not an emergency. And that's one thing where I'm like, dude, we need to sit in gratitude a little bit and be like, we have a really cool job. We get to work with really talented people.
Yeah.
We get to be people welcome us into their businesses. Yeah. We get to walk in places and sit in places that most people would never dream of. Like, we're so lucky. And we spend most of that time being like, oh, this deadline and I'm stressed and what am I going to do? And we don't take time to enjoy it. And as I'm getting older and further along in this journey, I'm just like,
I need to have fun. Like, I think back to when I was like in my 20s, and I feel like I was in the Devil Wears Prada. Like, I was like so stressed all the time. I always thought my boss was gonna fire me every day. It's the
I
vibe
was
you have when
firing
you're at that.
myself. Oh my God, it's lots and lots of
Yes,
times.
yes, yes. And it's like, wait, I worked in like a super cool place that most people would love to work, and I didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy it. And looking back, I'm like, if I had the opportunity to go back and work in that place, I think I would get a lot more out of it from this lens, from this perspective, where I'm like, you know what? Like you said earlier, life is going to go on. Things are going to happen. What's meant to be will be. Like, try to live in the gratitude of what you get to do every day, who you get to work with every day, and like the special places that, like right now, I'm here with you.
Yeah.
And yesterday I was probably stressing out about something that's like inconsequential, really, in the grand scheme of things. And it's like, enjoy this. This part. That would be my advice, is try to like not get so deep into things where you don't congratulate yourself for like how far you've come. The hard work you're doing, how impressive it is that you're still hanging in there, and like enjoy it. Enjoy it. We have one life.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Because good God, trying to enjoy it. I was already stressing out because I thought I had forgot my camera. So when you knocked it on, you're like a being smile at face. I was like, hey. But when I did, I was stressing out. I was like, oh my God, don't tell me they forgot to put my camera in my bag. Please don't tell me they forgot to put my camera in my bag.
Important detail. Girl,
I
we
know.
would have just done it with the phone.
I know.
We would have figured it out.
I would have.
figured
But
it out.
it's so quick to stop. It's so quick to forget to enjoy today, to enjoy the moment, to enjoy the now, right?
Yep,
And
absolutely.
especially right now, I'll tell you this, because the economy, right? Everybody's budget is on hold. Everybody's on standstill. And like, I feel like we're in a bad movie where everybody, like, you're the only ones moving about and everybody's like this, right? Because everything's happening all at the same time. How do you want to enjoy the now, right? But how do you handle stressful situations like that?
You're absolutely right. And there's not like the example I gave right now, where I'm saying this now in my mid 40s, but at 20 I would have never been able to say that. So I'm also speaking from a place of privilege, right? Because I've already climbed a ladder to a certain point, right? Versus the me back then. But that doesn't mean that there are not hard days, or that there is not, the people that know me know that this stage of my life right now has been very extremely hard on the personal side, right? So yeah, it is hard to navigate that. And I've honestly used work as somewhat of a little bit of an escape, because in work things are kind of a little better,
Well,
or a lot better.
Like, they're structured.
Yeah, they're structured. Things are good. But yeah, not everyone can come from that place. So I do want to be mindful of that. But yeah, in this economy, and we've seen it from some clients, it's not, Laredo does get touched by all of that stuff very quickly because of the position we play in like international trade and commerce. So we're the first ones to see when things like that trickle down and affect businesses. Thankfully, we haven't felt it as hard, like compared to like previous times, like for example, COVID. When COVID hit in 2020, and I was like, oh my God, that's it. We're going to have to close our business. Or even before that, the economic crash in 2008, I was already working in sales back then. And that was a lot harder. Just from my perspective here, we're still seeing a lot of growth, a lot of expansion. And maybe, again, it is because of the specific nature of Laredo's position on the border and the type of work that we do. We still see industry growing a lot here.
How weird.
Not to say that some haven't been affected.
No. I think that's a really interesting perspective. And I think that's a really interesting, like, the way it's happening, because during COVID, our business grew substantially.
Same.
Our business grew substantially during COVID, and now the economic downturn, or what the economics are, where everybody's feeling at this moment is we're getting affected differently. But I can see why. I can see the need to like import from like Southern or Central America, or North America South. And I can see why the business of the international trade or the international borders are going to like excel.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Laredo won the geographic lottery. Like we did. Like we're so lucky to be where we are.
That is so amazing.
Yeah. And so we still see that growth because like you said with COVID. So in COVID, we opened in 2019. Then March came along and we're like, oh my God, our little tiny business is barely trying to get off the ground. We're gonna die here, But it had the opposite effect. Like you said, that's where we grew exponentially. Why? why? Because everyone was like, everyone who before thought they didn't need a website now was like, you know what? I need to be online. I need e-commerce. I need to make a video about washing your hands. I need QR codes. They made a comeback from 2010, all that kind of stuff. So it actually did propel our business. Yeah. But in a time when everyone else, the vibe with other businesses was like, this is a scary time, things are failing. So I think similarly compared to now, even though the overall national economic climate is iffy, a lot of people unfortunately are going through a really hard time right now for different reasons as it relates to that. In Laredo, I can't say that we're completely unscathed, right? But I do think that we're in a very positive position because of the type of industries that we have here, that it does continue to sustain our community. And I mean, from our perspective, the clients that we hear from continue to work with, we're seeing so much growth. Yeah. The industrial sector, land development, warehousing, all of that is big for us. Those are some big verticals for us.
Yes. The growth at South Texas in general, like even the Rio Grande Valley, every border town is having an amazing growth. And I see, we definitely see it and happening. And even north of Texas, right? North Dallas is having like an over booming growth also. And so everything right in between. So
the whole I-35 corridor, right? They call it Texas's Main Street for a reason, right?
Yes. Okay. So one of the things that I know now and in my age, right, at my big age, is collaboration. I was afraid to collaborate because I was thought people were going to take my ideas, or they were going to run with my client, or they were going to whatever. But now I understand that in true honesty, it's like when you marry a man, and forgive me if this is my bad analogy, right? If you marry a man and he's going to go with somebody, he's going to go with that body. Doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter. And so it was the same thing. If it didn't work out for me, I hope that I can see it work out for somebody else. I hope that I can, because at some point my skills will be useful to someone.
Yes.
And there might not be useful to what is happening or what it's about. But when you're there, it's difficult. It's difficult to also savor in somebody else's growth. So collaborative affects us all in such a tremendous way. That's my take on it. What is yours when you want to collab? Because our tiny agencies can only do so much.
100%.
And so we have to work together with other agencies. What would you say to other agencies, or to other agencies who are afraid to collaborate or afraid to see what can happen?
Yeah. No, well, I love what you said, first of all, and I'll forgive your analogy if you forgive my Barack Obama one.
Yes.
It's a trade-off or even. Okay, we'll just edit that out. No, but like, I agree with you. Like, if a relationship with a client and your agency is not the right fit, it is kind of like a personal relationship where you have to be like, you know what? I think you're great. I know I did my job too, but we're just not a good mix for each other. Hey, I know this guy or I know this girl, and I think they could help you so much better. Like, I think you guys would vibe great. And then it opens that space for you to find someone that fits more like your vibe. So I'm a super fan of that. We're all adults here, right? Let's just do that and move on. And you have a better output and I have a better client relationship. And I love that. As far as collaboration, we actually... So like I said, when we started our agency, myself and my business partner, we started in 2019. I personally don't know of any other female-owned marketing agency at that time because I wanted that collaboration. I craved that. As a brand new little small business owner, new to the space, I was like, what do I do? Where do I start? I was looking for mentorship, right? From someone, specifically from a woman, someone that I could talk to that relates to my specific, unique journey, right? But I didn't know of that. Now I see a lot more of that. And I have been able to connect with some of those women and I love it. And with some of the men too. Recently, we did a collaboration on one of our political candidate campaigns, one of our political clients, and we collaborated with another agency. They have their strong suits. We have our strong suits. So for example, maybe another agency is really great at like public relations, but maybe ours is especially good at like videography. Can you combine those two to give the client just a better experience overall? And the answer is yes. And you have to be willing and open to it, right? I don't want to be an island. I don't want to be siloed ever. I think collaborations are super important. And from this first experience, you do have to figure out how to navigate them, right? Depending on who you're working with. Like, I'm not saying it's smooth sailing, but I'm saying give it a shot. I'm saying give it a shot.
You learn. And one of the things as a business owner, I've learned really quickly how to like read people, and not read like, oh, you're fake, you're this, you're that. Honestly, everybody's really deep down. Everyone should be a good person. And I believe 95% of the people are good people.
Same.
And they might just be in a space, in a place where they're having a hard time. And whatever's happening shouldn't affect you. And it shouldn't affect like how you run your business or don't run your business, or why you should be mad at them for whatever it is that they're going through. And so I not read people like, oh, you're a bad person. I can read you in the state of life that you're in. I can see why you're really eager to learn, or why you're really eager to like overstep people. There's nothing, not that there's anything wrong with that. It's just that's not that, one is my vibe and one is not. What it may be, if I wanted to step over people and I need to get as fast as I possibly can get to where I need to go, you might be my right partner. And stepping over somebody else doesn't mean like, it just means that you're not just going to consult with people, and the people who introduced you, maybe you're going to overstep them and stuff like that. That's what that means. Not that it's bad. But honestly, a faster pace might work better. And you just kind of like move on. And I'm like, okay, I need to move fast. Can you help me move fast? Because this is getting too tallied. Like we're crossing out, checking. And I'm like, okay, I need somebody with a separate checklist that we can move things along faster.
For sure.
And so when you're looking at that growth, when you're looking at what you can really exponentially do for yourself, that advice is like just gold to younger people. What advice would you give that is just like, you're like, you know what? This is it.
So like, I don't know if it's advice, but I can give perspective. When we talk about younger people, a lot of my team is a lot younger. I'm the oldest person there, right?
You like 15, girl.
But thanks, girl. But that's a good thing. I'm saying it's a great thing because you want fresh perspective, you want all that. But as far as like, it's not advice, but telling them like what I expect as like someone to work with, like you said, a relationship, or like where we're at, are we on the same page? I always say 2 words. So if this is advice for younger people maybe looking to get a job, attitude and effort. Those are like top 2 for everything. I feel like most of the things we do in any business, you can teach. You can maybe teach editing. Of course, there's people that have natural talent, because I know so many of those and I'm so jealous of them. But most things you can teach and learn and get good at. But attitude and effort, are you an easy person to work with? That's like my number 1 quality. And I know it sounds kind of cheesy, but when I meet people for the first time, I'm like you. I like feed off of the energy. So like, you guys can't see behind the camera, but Zell is here, who I work with. And I always tell her, the first time I met Zell, the first time I was introduced to her, I always tell her it was love at first sight. Like it was just the vibe, that you get from a person. You're like, this is a good person. They're nice. They're humble. They're hardworking. Like we share, I can relate. We're the same type of people. I could see myself working with this person. Whereas unfortunately, there's some people that, that you don't fit. Again, back to your relationship analogy, because so much of this is relationships, right? There's just some people that you don't, and it's good for you. It's good for me. We're different. Okay, whatever. We respect each other, but maybe we're not going to team up or collaborate because it's not a good match,
Yeah. I think that's really, really, really solid advice is, for me, it's, are you trainable, right? So I think you said that. For me, it's, can I teach you? Can you retain? Can you hold? And can you make it your own? Can you work this in a way that's going to work better for you and for our clients? And can you commit? That's it. That's really it. Honestly, a lot of what we do can be trained on. What I really like is individuals who have just a little bit of experience, not necessarily in marketing, just in work experience in the environment that we're in, because
customer
marketing,
service, customer facing,
public relations, it's a lot of this. It's a lot of relational meetings. It's a lot of like, and then the client will say something and you're like, you're not saying what you're saying, but let me interpret what you're saying. They're like, yes, that's it. I was like, oh, okay, because that's not even there what you said. You were talking over here. And you were like, I'm like, okay, how can I give you really hard numbers? How can I give you really hard data? So I love that.
No, for sure.
Just be
attitude
for
and
me,
effort.
it's malleable. How can I work this so it can work for us?
Yeah.
And then whatever way that you went in, make it your own. Because truly, I don't need you to be a second me.
Right.
I need you to be you.
Right. Yeah.
And work that way.
Right.
And work
Especially
in
in marketing where so much is like idea based, right?
Yeah.
If I get stuck on this is my idea and this is how I want to do it, then where's the creativity in that, right?
Yeah.
The whole point is to hear like, well, what do you think we should do? What do you think we should do? And then kind of like make a mix of that, right?
Yeah.
Because by yourself, it's not a thing.
Oh my God, Patricia, I can talk about marketing all goddamn day. So we'll move on.
I love that we have that in common.
Yes. Okay. So the chamber.
Yes.
This program, what is it? Talk to me about it.
So the chamber here in Laredo has been around for over 100 years.
Oh my God.
It's
Jesus.
Yeah, she's established. And it's had about 18 or 19 committees. As far as the chairperson of the entire chamber, recently there's been a surge in female chairpersons to oversee the entire chamber. So in the 100-year history, we've seen maybe now a handful. Nice. Okay, it's a small number still, but we're getting there. It's starting to change, right? So it's very positive. And in light of that, some of these new female leaders have come on and noticed that, hey, maybe there's a little bit more room for growth here with that sector, right? So this year, the new chairperson of the chamber, Rossi Chase, she, along with some other chamber leaders, decided that we should add a new committee to the chamber called Women in Business that was specifically just focused on helping female professionals in our community talk, collaborate, network, make those connections, even just go for a cafecito and vent. And like, again, the female experience is very unique. When people say like, oh, it's the same out in the workplace, it's really not. But only another woman to another woman understands what I'm talking about. And so those relationships are very necessary. So this committee was created. Like I said, I was very lucky to be asked to chair that committee. So we just started in October. It's fresh. It's a baby committee. And what we're trying to do is just initiatives that bring women together. Right now, we're in the process of, and this is just like planting the seeds phase of creating a grant, a financial grant for women who are maybe going to start a micro business, a small business, need a little bit of seed money. And also, along with that grant, provide them with mentorship resources. So a female attorney, a female CPA accountant, maybe a female marketer, people to kind of help you get your feet wet. Yeah. I wish I had that when I started because I was clueless. I'm still figuring it out as I go along, you know? But as most of us are, but I think that's such a valuable thing. So those are things that are in our future. Coming up in July, this wonderful IBC Bank that we have here in Laredo hosts this beautiful Laredo Women's Forum. So we're happy to be part of that and join them in that as far as the Laredo Chamber Foundation as well, and raise funds to hopefully be able to reinvest in ways like that back into the female professional community here in Laredo, which, as you know, it's 95% Latina. So, so very important.
That is so cool. Oh my God. I need to come back for that forum.
Yes, come back. It's on July 30th. It's 2 days after my birthday. Just throwing that out there. And it's going to be great.
Your sweet 16.
The speaker, yes. Dr. Goswami, she is a cancer researcher, a very impressive woman. She's going to be the guest speaker. And yes, you're welcome to be a guest at my table if you would like to come.
Oh my God. That I would love. 95% Latina women.
Yeah. So this room last year, when IBC hosted this, last year, it was a room of 300 women. It was sold out. All female leaders, female professionals, owners, CEOs, top level, like your cup of tea, exactly, in our community. And it's just a good vibe to be around. Like there's so much girl power. We talk about a lot of things and it's a big event. And for networking alone, like we always talk about representation and it matters, and as I saw this thing online the other day where they were talking to a class of like elementary school kids and they were like, hey, draw a firefighter. And they're like, oh, he looks like this and that. Oh, draw a doctor. Oh, he's tall and he wears this and he, And so still, even in 2026, even our children coming up, the first thing they envision when they think of these high level professionals is a male, which is fine. But more and more to be able to be in rooms surrounded by the female doctors, the female firefighters, the female marketers, and see that and be like, oh, if it was little me to be able to see that and be like, wow, she's Latina like me, she's a woman like me. I can see myself in her shoes. I can see myself in her uniform. And I think that makes a world of difference. So anything that promotes that, I'm in favor of.
Oh my God, that's so amazing. Oh my God, this is just like filled with my cup.
Yeah.
Okay, so July 30th.
Yeah, July
Women's
30th.
Forum.
At the IBC Annex on Jackman Road.
Okay, yeah, no,
if
we should
anyone wants
add
to buy
that.
tickets, just reach out to the Laredo Chamber of Commerce.
That. We should definitely add that. Okay, now I'm thinking to myself, okay, how do I get here July 30th? Okay, yes. Let me work that in.
The Heffa-mobile.
Yeah, I know.
Hello.
Yes,
the Heffa-mobile on wheels will bring
I know.
you.
I'm gonna bring a couple of them. So, okay. One of the things that you mentioned was your son, 18.
I love him.
And that's how I know the things that we are very passionate about, right?
I love him.
I have a son. And he will be graduating this May from OU, University of Oklahoma.
Oh my gosh, congratulations.
Thank you. How is your son? And is he graduating also?
So my son, Jake, is amazing. The love of my life. It's always just been me and him. Why am I going to start to cry? Okay, I'm not.
Because he's amazing.
So we're very close.
Okay.
He is turning 18 on Tuesday. And so he's graduating from high school here on May 28th. And in August, he's moving into the
Congratulations,
dorms
Mom.
in San Antonio at Incarnate Word. He did get a scholarship, an academic scholarship. So single mom, small business owner, I'm like, thank you, God, for that scholarship. That's going to help us a lot. That's a huge blessing. And yeah, so in August, I will officially be an empty nester because Jacob is my only son, my only child. And so it's definitely a lot of feelings right now, right? With him turning 18, with him leaving, I'm so proud of him. I feel good and happy for him. I want him to launch from the nest. I want him to have those experiences. Absolutely. But am I going to be sad? I think I'm going to be sad. I think I already have some of that anticipation grief going. But also I'm looking forward to a new chapter for the both of us. The both of us. Him in this new life, getting to be a grown-up, studying in college, meeting different people, diversifying, men, women of different races, of different ages, just out from Laredo where he's figuring always lived in this little bubble.
Figuring it out himself.
Yeah. And then me figuring it out myself, right? As, a single woman, with my only son leaving and finally being for the first time in 19 years, starting fresh. So we're both starting new chapters and it's exciting, but it's also a little,
difficult. Yes.
Yeah.
I remember when we first dropped off my son at the dorms. Yeah. No. It is. And we
tears.
Yes. We sent him off and then we drove home and I was like, okay, this sucks. No, but it was, he grew so much.
Yeah.
He is own advocate. He can do and say and communicate. He's gone up against the administration there, staff and I think it's so amazing. It's so amazing. So when your son graduates and it's 20 years from today, right? It's 10 years from today, right?
Whew, yeah.
What would you like for him to have learned from you, even as an adult? Because what he learns in his childhood and what he learns in adulthood are completely separate. What do you hope he can learn from you into adulthood?
Yeah. Well, I think about it all the time, being a single mom and working a lot. I've always worked. When I worked in corporate and now being a small business owner, you work all the time. It's very consuming.
Yeah.
And for a lot of women, that was associated with a lot of guilt. What am I missing? Am I there for him enough? I'm not going to be able to cook a full meal when I get home at 9. I'm going to be super tired, whatever it is. You have all this mom guilt. But on the other side of that coin, I hope that I'm teaching him, seeing me work hard, hey, things take effort. You have to be responsible. You have to be accountable. You can't give up when things are hard. No one's coming to save you, right? You have to figure it out. And so if anything, even though it came with a lot of mom guilt, I hope that he sees how hard that I've worked and, how much effort it takes. And I hope he takes that and that's instilled something in him to also be responsible for himself and his family, right? And to be my mom did it. My mom did it. I could do it. There's no reason I can't do it. If she could do it, I could do it.
Yeah.
So hopefully he takes that away.
That's amazing.
And also he's taught me a lot about kindness. So, I think I'm a kind person. I think I'm a good person, but he's next level. And I think it's part of this younger generation too, that's learning a lot of softer life qualities, which is so refreshing, honestly. That's, you know, we grew up very like, oh, you know, throw you in the lion's cage and figure it out. And he, you know, he comes from a softer vibe, but I love that he's always like, you know, be kind to everyone, you know, because sometimes we're stressed out. Like you said, you meet someone at the wrong time. You're stressed out. It's not the best outcome. 5 minutes later, you're like, why did I
do that?
Approach it that way? Like I could have done better.
I regret it.
He always reminds me about that. And he's always like, Mom, you know, just be nice. Just calm down. It's fine. They're probably going through something. Like, and I'm like, for someone who's 17 going on 18 right now to have that mentality is really refreshing, and I'm really proud of him. So he teaches me that.
Good. Well, congratulations and happy birthday to Jake.
Thank you.
And much congratulations.
Thank
okay.
you.
So some lasting and leaving words.
Yeah.
What would you say? Well, not what would you say? Advice you would give Latinas who are graduating. We're dancing now. With the Latinas who are in their second wind of life.
Oh. I would tell them, call me and give me advice. That's where I'm at right now. You know, that's where I'm at. And it's like figuring it out. And like, you can get advice all day and you can hear stuff all day, but ultimately we're all on such individual journeys, right? It's so hard. I keep telling like my girlfriends and my circles of friends, like once Jake leaves to college, I'm just going to like retreat into a bubble. Like no one's going to see me for like a month, and I'm just going to detox and like decompress, right? You know, of everything that you've been doing in work and life and stuff, and kind of just take a moment to ask myself like, wait, who am I? What do I like? What do I want? You know, we go through life taking care of our employees, taking care of our parents, taking care of our children. Taking care of our friends, and we don't stop to ask ourselves those things. And I think it's been many years since I asked myself, like, who is Patty? Like, what is she like? What does she want for the next chapter of her life? And just, I don't know, sometimes it's scary to ask yourself those questions and to confront yourself with some of the realities, right, of the stage you're in life and stuff. But I welcome it. I think everyone should kind of just do a reset. If I'll let you know if it works out for me, but yeah, just a reset first before I go out and I'm like, you know what, I want to buy a property, or you know what, I want to start another business, or oh, you know, I want to start dating, or whatever it is. Before you make any of those crazy life choices, like just a reset and just be like, hey, you know, for the first time in my life, it's not about like, well, I need to live here because my husband's job is here, or I need to stay here because my son and all his friends are here, or, you know, I have to get home by this time to make everyone dinner. It's not that anymore. Now it's really like, well, is that what I want for myself? Like, I can finally, I feel like, ask myself that without feeling guilty or bad. So I think that's step one. Just ask yourself, have like a serious conversation with yourself and be like, who am I and what do I want? And then really and truly, I believe like anything is possible. I know that sounds so cheesy and so generic, but the older I get, the more I am like really like, yeah, like you want this, there's logical steps to get to that. You want that, there's logical steps to get to that. You just have to take the time to make a little roadmap and just be like, do I want to commit to this? Do I want to invest the time, the money, the effort, the blood, sweat, and tears? Yes, it's worth it. Okay, let me do it. But it's it can be very logical, more than we make it difficult sometimes.
That's really solid advice. Is it just take a time, just take your second win, perfect. Breathe,
yes, breathe. Breathe and just be like, what just happened the last 18 years? What just happened? What am I doing? What is this about?
Really cool
Who
advice.
am I? What do I like? What do I like? Like, have you asked yourself, like, what's your favorite color? Or what's your favorite food? Like, I don't know. Like, do we even know this information about
Can
ourselves?
I do this? Can I not do this?
I know his favorite color. I know his favorite
Does
food.
it matter?
You
Yeah.
know?
So this is the whole point of this road trip is that can I do it on my own? I don't know. I don't know.
You are doing
I know.
it.
I don't know,
We
right?
are doing
Yes,
it.
correct.
Yeah, that's not a question.
I don't know. But here's the thing is that if I want, I can stop. If I want.
If it's your choice.
If it's my choice,
everything's
I can
in the choice.
Stop. We ultimately sometimes out of fear don't do anything. It's like, okay, but have you tried it? So how do you even know if you're scared of it?
No, that's right. And it's easier said than done. Like here we are. Like that's what I'm
giving
saying.
all the
I
advice.
Don't feel
like
qualified.
Just jump, girl. Just jump.
Just jump.
And they're
we're
like,
here like tethered. no. Just do what's right for you. And like that path looks different for everyone and there's no judgment. But I think you said it. It's all about choice. I think that's the most empowering thing for any woman, any human, any person of any gender is choice. Are you choosing your life? You want to be a stay-at-home mom? I love that for you if that's what you want.
Yeah.
You want to be this top-level CEO that works night and day? I love that for you if that's what you want.
Yeah.
Is it your choice? And I think now we're like, wow, like I have kind of choice decision fatigue because now I feel like the whole world is open, right? Which is a good thing potentially. But it's like, as long as it's my choice, as long as it's something that I'm freely choosing for myself, not because of a circumstance.
Yeah.
And again, that's from a place of privilege. Not everyone has that. But when you have the choice, I think that's the most empowering thing to know that you're doing something because that's what you want to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not what someone else expects you to do or wants you to do or that you have to do. It's what you want.
Yeah.
It's your choice.
Patricia, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. I absolutely love this. I think you dropped a lot of wisdom in one episode, and even my mind is thinking like, that actually makes sense. And I'm like,
keep going.
Hi.
You want to? There's another chair.
You ready?
Who's your co-pilot?
You ready? You ready to go?
Co-pilot. Zal, get in the van.
Let's go. Vamos.
Vámonos.
Hi, how are you? No, pero thank you so much. Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much for
Angelica.
joining
This
me.
was wonderful.
And I appreciate it. Muchas
I
gracias.
love what you're doing.
Thank you.
I think it's amazing. We were fangirling over your Instagram. And
No,
we're
I
just
love
like,
it.
We're like, is this a labor of love? Like what?
Absolutely.
Like all these cities and Laredo is just barely like in the middle one. Like you still have like half
I
of
still
your
have
trip
3
left.
weeks to go. Yep.
Like, I don't know how you do it, but when you do it, you're amazing at it.
Thank you.
And I could see the passion there
Thank you.
and the thought behind it. And it's very admirable.
Awesome.
And
Muchas
I'm so
gracias.
proud of you.
Muchas
I'm so
gracias,
proud of us.
Patricia. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. All
All
right.
right.
And
We'll
with that,
Bye.
we'll see you next time.